What up, though, my afro? Let's get some music. I feel like. Hold on a second. Yeah, hold on. Mew. Better. I think that's better. I think there's a lot going on. All right. All right, let's talk about health. All right, that's enough of that. Let's talk about some health. So, I've been in and out of doctors' offices and hospitals, and they've been telling me, that, I got some things that I can't fix going on with my ticker all up in here. And I knew stuff was going on up in here. I've been at it for years, walking into these hospitals and saying, hey, something's wrong. So finally, they told me a bunch of technical information that, taking a little time, people can understand what they're saying. And they're like, yeah, you were born like this. They were like, not nothing you could help. Now, for those of you who don't know, my dad passed away from, heart issues. And so I'm like, yo, am I going to have the same problems? And they're like, no, you should be fine. They ran a bunch of tests, and the tests are saying, we got to keep an eye on you. You know what I mean? Tests are like, you got some developments that need to be looked at because you've gone from mild to you need to, I don't know. You need to be looked at. They're like, this is not normal for your age. Usually this develops in older people. And I'm like, what did I do? And they said, nothing is just happening to you. I'm like, damn. And then I was like, well, what can I do? And they were like, nothing. It's just happening to you. So it's very sobering to, be able to toss around refrigerators and then find out that there's things happening to your body that you just can't help. So I was like, can I still, move stuff around? They were like, just don't do anything for like the next couple months that's going to cause your heart rate to go up. Because right now, you need to rest. And, I was like, all right. So resting I can do. So resting, that's what I'm doing. And they're like, once you rest and your heart kind of, gets it together, then, you should be fine. You don't need to change a lot. But, don't eat crazy. Don't go out run anytime soon. You can walk, but don't go running. You guys know I like to do my push-ups. They're like, don't do any of that that's going to make your heart rate go up. Because right now you need some healing. And that's not what I want to hear. Right now I want to hear, go out and run a mile or two. Because you guys know I've been doing some running, some wind sprints. I'm in the gym, deadlifting 365, military pressing 135 10 times. Because I need my strength, and they're just like, don't do none of that. They're like, you can still lift. just long as it doesn't make your heart rate go up. Not right now. So I'm not doing anything. But I'm saying all this to say, not to exactly put all my business out there, but I'm saying all this to say that if you walk into a hospital and you tell them that something's wrong, they're not always going to believe that something's wrong. So sometimes you got to really be persistent in order for them to be like, okay, there's something really wrong with this person. This isn't some type of, this person just wants to see our face. Something's going on here. And this guy or woman, person, has a pattern of walking in here and going, something's not right with me. You know what I mean? So what they do is they look at you, and like one doctor actually was like, sarcastic, like, what's wrong with you? Type. I looked up at her and I was like, something's going on with my ticker. And she didn't believe me. They ran a whole bunch of tests and I was out of there. But what they didn't tell me was the test results in detail. I didn't find out till almost 10 years later, what the detail was with those test results that they ran on that day. And now they're telling me, they're like, this is what we found 10 years ago with those tests. This is what's going on with you now that your situations has caused an alarm. This is what was going on with you. Like like you weren't crazy. Something was really happening with you. And now this is what's going on with your heart. The thing about it is, even though they knew something was going on, they're like, there's nothing we could have done and there's nothing we can do until it gets worse. It's kind of like a hernia. When you get a hernia, they don't do anything until the hernia reaches the size of a quarter, if it's an ingroinal hernia. So if it's the size of a dime, they don't do anything. But you're feeling this pain and it's getting worse and worse. Well, they got to wait till your insides pretty much start falling out whenever you sneezed. And then they go, now it's time for an operation. Then they give you an operation, throw some mesh over it, and you're in pain for, 6 months. But nonetheless, that's kind of like this situation now. I have to wait till it gets worse in order for them to go in and start digging around. Hey, somebody said something. Where military? I walked into the VA a few times. So I always go into the VA, and then the VA sends me out as an outpatient. So the answer is yes, those were VA doctors, but the VA doesn't have cardiologists on hand. So what the VA will do, community, this VA in Columbus, Ohio, they don't have cardiologists walking around in the VA. All they have is your PPO, pretty much. They don't have those specialists there. So when it's something that's, above, their pay grade, they go ahead and ship you out to OSU and sometimes other hospitals. But I always ask to go to OSU. It's the best hospital. And so OSU, those doctors didn't tell me what was going on. And the VA doctor was the kind of one that was kind of getting smart with me. VA doctors are something else because they're your regular, like I said, they're your regular doctors, even if they admit you. And if they're in the ER, they're not going to operate on you. They're not putting in stents. They're not doing any of that stuff. They're going to always ship you, and you're going to be an outpatient. You're going to get picked up by the ambulance, and they're going to cart you off to a hospital. So they have a very cavalier view of a lot of the VA patients. It's just like, why do y'all do that? And sometimes it's because VA hospital, what they do in order to cut cost is they have doctors that are only in, country for like a year under contract. So they'll work for a year or two, then they'll leave. That's how they do things. Sorry to hear about your. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. I was kind of sorry to, like, I went to a doctor today who is my regular PPO, right? And she was really breaking it down. Now, I done seen a lot of doctors recently, but she bring it all together. She put it all together and says, this means this means that. This is what your nurse practitioner was saying. This is what your cardiologist was saying. A cardiologist was saying. This is what the stenographer was saying. This is what your CT was saying. This is what all these people were saying. And she brings it all together and say, this is what happened to you. And I'm like, why did this happen to me? And she says, well, one of the things that's going on with you, she says it could happen because you could have caught a virus. And I was like what? She's like the flu. And this is why I'm on here today talking to you guys. So it's not for to talk about my business or anything, but yeah, most of the people who are on my channel are men, and we're very prideful. We don't like to go to the hospital because we think our muscles can handle everything. But I knew that I was in big trouble. And once those tests came in, they was like, yeah, you were in trouble. This is what happened to you. So they were like, we're glad you came in. So I'm encouraging you guys, if you think something's really wrong with you, walk into the hospital, walk in the triage. Nonetheless, so she said, yeah, one thing is because you caught a virus. And I says, well, I don't have a virus. She says 90% of the time, this is because a virus is overworking your, cardio. And I'm just like, no, I don't have any virus. I don't even have a cold. So she's like, I don't know why, but that's what happens. She said it'll go away usually around 6 months. Just take it easy. I'm like, can I still lift? She's like, yes, just don't go out and run. So there's that. Heaven bound, if it's your. Yeah, well, hell, we're all heaven bound. We don't know when it's time to get on up out of here. But this is not like they're keeping an eye on me, but if they thought that I needed a like surgery or something, I would have got it already. So it's not at that level. It's not there. But people don't usually let me say this. If you ignore it, then yes. If you ignore just about anything, you're in trouble. You know what I mean? You ignore it, then yeah, you're gonna get on up out of here. That's for real. But what's going on with me is easily, they look at it and then they go, okay, boom, now we can go and treat it. And then they go and treat it, and then you rock on. No more lifting for, well, guess that too. I don't know who said that, but yeah, no more lifting refrigerators. So I have, I don't know, 1, 2 in storage. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 out here. Those are all going away at a dodo bird. They're out of here. Um, I'm not going to. Well, I mean, I'll move them from here to uh, the junkyard. I'll keep the insides because I sell the parts on eBay. But that's it for me with the big refrigerators. The 320 pound, the 280 pound, the 2-door stainless big boys, the French doors. Those are, I'm not dealing with those no more. I got 2 to get rid of in there, and then I got 2 3-doors in there that are like 320 pounds. No more. No more. I'm finished. No more deliveries. That's it. Now the smaller ones, yeah, I'll still rock with them, but what I won't do is I don't think I'll be doing any deliveries. So that's that. And people say, hey, I need it delivered. I'm like, no, I'm not doing any more deliveries. That is that. I'm not going up any flights of stairs. I'm not doing none of that. And for the ones that I'll pick up later, if it's an arduous task to get it out the house, I'm not doing that either. So there's that. I think everybody left, but I'm gonna keep talking. So what I want to encourage you guys to do, you know, for one, don't be prideful because you'll get knocked on your ass. For two, take it easy. You know, I'm almost 60 years old. You be thinking, I can I still got a mean right. Nah, nah, nah. Uh-uh. Nope, nope, nope. Once you hit 50, dial it back. Dial it back. You see like Mike Tyson in there fighting with Jake. But Mike doesn't need to be in there. He got 20 mil out of it. He threw 18 punches. Okay, Mike, I see your math. But Mike, that's it. That's it, Mike. That's it. That's it. We all know what happens to a lot of people, that go into the ring and try to mess around with the younger folks. They don't make it. They go from the fight to the hospital and then to the grave. We've seen that. People are not ready for that type of impact on their heart. Just don't do it. So I'm not going to be doing any of that. They're like no cardio for a while. So I am going to be not even push-ups. I'm not even doing that. But I can lift, but I'm not doing any cardio. Until this kind of fixes itself. And then I'll probably go back to push-ups, but that's way down the road. I still got to move stuff around. I might be moving soon. And if I do, I move all this. I moved it all myself. And I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? I enjoyed it. But I might have to do it again. Also, I was helping other people move and, making a little cash. I'm not doing that no more. So, yeah, this stuff is heavy. This stuff, I got the couch in there. I got some heavy stuff. So I just thank God for dollies. You know what I mean? So I just got to take my time whenever I do a lot of stuff. I was getting the cardio exercise out of moving stuff. I was like, yeah, I can keep going and keep going. And I'm not knowing that I have, stuff going on in there. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that no more. If I have to move stuff in my house by myself, which I probably will, it'll take me days. The last time I did it, it took me like a day and a half, and I moved my whole place plus everything in the basement. I had like 6, 7 different appliances downstairs. I moved them all up a flight of stairs, all outside, all onto my, truck, trailer, all in the I moved my whole apartment by myself. So I'll probably have to do that again, but I will really take my time when I do it and I'll plan it out. Uh Hopefully I won't have to deal with a lot of stairs. But so yeah, so I'm not so far gone where I can't do any of that. I'm not sitting down yet. But like I said, I want to encourage you guys. The news that I got, yeah, it's bad news, but it's not terrible news. It's you're almost 60 news. And this is what's been going on with you when you were in the womb. Like you were born like this. And now it's affecting you. You guys know I used to run the mile and run 60 miles a week and used to be a competitive miler and all that other stuff. All that is boom, 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 boom. Cardio. I had a 42 resting heart rate. I mean, my heart wasn't working hard at all, but yet I had this issue that I didn't know about. And then once I started hitting 30, boom, it started creeping up on me. And now it's shutting me down. Now it's like, you're going to stand still. You're going to sit down. You know what I'm saying? It's not playing. Like, you're gonna have to rest. You can't go out there and do sprints. I used to go outside and do sprints back here and boom, boom, boom. They're like, no more of that. You're not doing that anymore for now until you heal up. Then they got to keep an eye on it. And then, boom. How is your vitamin D? You know what? I actually take vitamin D. Let me see if I got some right here somewhere. Yeah. So they were looking at, calcium and potassium, which I was like, why are you guys giving me potassium in the hospital? And what are you giving me? And, I'm thinking, I'm not eating enough bananas or. So they were telling me, oh, you might have an issue with calcium. And this is why this happened and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I eat decent, Yeah, so I got some vitamin D right here. I take that. But like I said, for you guys who've been following me, you guys who are getting up there in age, or even if you're not, don't be afraid to go to the hospital. Don't let your pride get in your way. Some of you younger women, don't say I'm too cute to be in a hospital gown because you're going to be cute 6 feet under. Don't do that. You're not too cute. Nobody cares about you being cute. What they care about is your health. You know what I'm saying? So if you're one of those people, cut the nonsense out. Walk into the hospital and say, I got a problem. And if they do checkups on you and don't tell you what the problem is, you can always look at your My Chart and see what they found. And then you can get a second opinion, you can go on the internet and start looking around, which is what I did. I went and started looking around and start looking at statistics and okay. And then when I talked to my PPO, I took that information to her and had an intelligible conversation. You know what I'm saying? So she was hitting me with the news and I was like, this, that, and the third. And she was like, yes, no, yes, no. And then she would correct me, of course, because she's a DDS and I'm not. I got a bachelor's degree, but, she's a whole, PhD or MD, excuse me. And I want her professional opinion. And then boom. So she told me what's going on. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say, you guys. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. And sometimes you're the first doctor that sees you may give you great information, but it just always helps to get a second opinion. And then we looked at my chart and she says, well, what they're saying here and what they're saying here is a contradiction. So when you talk to cardiology, they're going to have to clear this up for you because this is a contradiction. So now I have more information I can go and talk to my cardiologist about, and then they can say, this is what this means. They can clear things up for me, which is what I want. I want it straight. Also, take your medicine. I know a lot of you guys are into the holistic. You guys are, I'm going to do what Steve Jobs did. Well, Steve Jobs died because he didn't take his medicine. He died. He passed away because he was arrogant. All right. So don't do what Steve Jobs did. Steve Jobs had pancreatic cancer. And he said, well, I'm just going to, eat better. And the doctors were like, Steve, if this gets to a point where, it can get bad quick. And then there's just nothing we can do. We can't remove your pancreas and then give you another one. It's once it does this, your pancreas is going to shut down. That's it for you. He's like, Salad. Steve Jobs, I'll eat some salad. Steve Jobs died because of that. Now, to his credit, he did live longer than the majority of people who have pancreatic cancer. The usual statistic is 6 months. He made it for a year plus. All right. Of course, he had money and the best that money could buy. And then he started eating real good. But what happened to him was it was too little too late. And while he was dying and he realized the food wasn't curing him, he went to the doctor and the doctor said, "You're too far gone. You're going to die." And that was it. He died shortly after. So don't do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to, green beans. No. But am I consuming more salads? Absolutely. But I was doing that before I got this news. You know, I was, munching on salads and greens because I like that kind of food. But so change your diet. That's a big thing and it helps you out a lot. There's been a lot of patients who changed their diet and they lived longer. So don't be afraid to, change your diet. Anyways, everybody's gone. I just want to talk about that. Come here on a serious note. Take care of yourself. Jesus loves you, and so do I. I'm out.